My name is George Davis. I'm Deputy Executive Editor and Producer at Nationwide 90 FM, Nationwide News Network, and I am a massive, massive fan of sport. The first rule of interviewing strangers, or even people you're familiar with, so it's better you adopt the approach that I'm going to outline now. Never, ever touch your interviewee. Never. Yeah, because you don't know, people may be having a bad day if you are friendly with them or you're familiar with them. Or people may, for those who are strangers, they may just react in a way that is not polite. But you touch somebody, and the worst thing is to happen is that you're interviewing somebody and they don't touch me, talk to me. And that puts you on the back foot. So the first rule is don't touch. You're talking with a shy fan. The inclination is to put an arm around the person to make them feel comfortable. But as I said, do not touch, so don't do that. You get as close as you can. Right? You look them in the eye, and rather than start with a question about the sport or the activity that is on the way, you try to make a joke. You try to get them to relax. You say something about their appearance, their dress, their attire, something complimentary, because what you're trying to do is to make them realize that, look, this is not a walk to the gallows. Yeah, this is not a torturous circumstance that you are in. This is simply an interview. So you say something in general. You may even say to them, say, you look as if you're going to the gallows. I guarantee it's nowhere as difficult as that. And you're looking so very well turned out in your pantsuit today. And you know, I'm sure the viewers at home, the people at home watching, or the people watching us are admiring your outfit. Anyway, what do you think about the teams? But you have to ease yourself into the interview. You have to ease yourself into your first question. Right. The spectator, a spectator at a sporting event, there are two broad kinds. One is a spectator three broad kinds. So you're going to have one, the person who is hugely knowledgeable about the sport that is being contested, and they'd relish the opportunity to show off that knowledge. Then two, you're going to have the person who knows nothing about the sport whatsoever. They were just dragged along by a friend, or they came out of curiosity just to drink in the atmosphere, to share in the occasion. And then three, you're going to have the person who doesn't know anything but believes that they know everything about the sport. It's the full authority on the subject matter. What you do is this. For the spectator, you approach every spectator like they are knowledgeable in the sport. Let them tell you that, boy, I don't really know anything about football, I don't really know anything about basketball, and I'm just here with a friend. Let them tell you that in their answer. So you approach everybody like they're an expert in the topic, and you ask them something either about the contest that's about to unfold, or you ask them something about the sport in general. Don't make it too specific. And in doing so if you're lucky enough to get one who is knowledgeable, they relish the opportunity of being interviewed to show off their knowledge, because they want their friends to see them, they want others to see them and say, boy, I never knew you knew so much about the NBA when the man asked you about so-and-so, you just reeled off the answer. They want that affirmation. So it's almost like a peacock moment for them, so they'll be very happy. The person who doesn't know will also be happy to tell you that, boy, I'm not really a fan of so-and-so, and I'm just here to see an individual, or I'm just here with a friend. And then you have to switch now very, very quickly. You have to be nimble on your feet and in your brain to ask them a question surrounding or concerning the atmosphere, the theater, the space that they're in. You have to make it a general question, given that they've said to you that they're not an expert on the subject matter, or they know nothing about the subject matter. The other person, though, the one who knows nothing but thinks they know, they will attempt to answer the event-specific question you put. You may realize in their answer, you're not so knowledgeable, because everybody who knows the sport knows that. But you never make it clear to them that you have sussed them out, that you have found out that they are fluffing. You go along, because that, of the three that I've mentioned, that person will be your most enthusiastic respondent, because they so desperately want to show their knowledge and speak about something. You just let them speak, and you're not going to correct your interviewee, even if they make the most egregious error. The error is theirs. At least you don't join them and say, yeah, but I agree with what. No, you let them say what they say, and you keep it moving. He or she who knows, looking at that interview, will know that that is BS or that is off the line. That's not your job. That's not your duty. Your duty is the interaction. And along the three broad kinds of fans that you're likely to meet, I've given you the prescribed approach to dealing with them and asking them questions. But for the athlete whose team or athlete, for the fan rather, whose athlete or team is winning, you throw something at them to affirm their athlete or their team's dominance in the contest. So you will say, your guy's leading, your guy just won the first set 6-love. His forehand is on fire this morning. Yes, yeah, man, the forehand is good, and that forehand pass down the baseline and so on, so on. It's something that I noticed that he has been working on over the past several weeks, blah, 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 blah. So you look at the performance and you give them something. If it's a team, if Arnett Gardens are leading 3-1 at halftime in a Premier League semi-final contest, and you're interviewing an Arnett Gardens fan, and the striker who has scored 2 goals and provided 1 assist, you say, Parker Blacks is on fire today. The man woke up with the shooting boots on. Yeah, you know, because a long time not training on him, want the opportunity of show him skills now, and them to call him for the national team, you know, and 2 goals and 1 assist already. So you pick the positive out of the performance and you throw that to the fan to let them then exude, to let them go further, to let them talk about the athlete or the team in glowing terms. You're giving them a chance to show off about their athlete or their team is essentially what I'm saying. That's the kind of question you ask. So you have to be looking at the performance, picking one of the positive aspects of the performance, because obviously if they're leading, if they're winning, there are going to be many positive aspects. You pick one or you pick a few if you get more than one question, and you put that to them, and then you leave the rest to them. They'll be happy to talk about what is causing their athlete or their team to be winning. On the other hand, an athlete or a team that is losing, it's also an easy interview, because what you do, you pick one of the negative aspects so far. So a team that is down 4-0 at halftime, and you're interviewing one of their fans, you say, boy, the defense is at 6s and 7s, no coordination, they're playing like strangers. And they'll just go off. Yeah, because the centre back should have been covering for the right back when and then they'll start do the tactical breakdowns for you. So again, it's simple either way. You have to pick the aspect of the losing team or the losing player, and then you give the fan that to highlight. They may disagree with you, you know, which makes great copy, great material in any way, if they disagree with you. So you say 4-0 down, you say, boy, the defense is at 6s and 7s. And they say, well, I don't really that the problem, you know. From further up the field, because the striker, he's not holding on to the ball when it comes to you. You can't be playing lone striker and not holding on to the ball. And so when the ball goes to him, he's not holding on to the ball. Then the midfield now is under pressure because the midfield keeps playing to him and he's not controlling the ball. So the play breaks down there. And then because you commit so many men forward to the attack, then the defense gets overloaded in the transition and them outnumber us. And that's why the defense under pressure and the defense will think. So that's really the problem. You know, it may look obvious as if the defense is the problem, but it's further up the field. You get them now to do a tactical breakdown for you. If it's one of the 3 categories of fans that I mentioned earlier, the knowledgeable ones that you lock on, they will be able to do that kind of analysis and breakdown for you. So you have to be very keen. I see people doing interviews, and while the game is on, they're on their phone or they're talking to somebody. It's rubbish. It should not be done. You should be studious in the game, because it is in the game and the gameplay that you will see things that will make your interviewing life very, very, very easy. If you pay attention, it is impossible for you to ask foolish questions or thin questions if you are watching the game, watching the performance, because you'll be able to see the strong points and the weak points, and depending on which state the athlete or team is in, whose fan you go to, you'll be able to find ample material to ask a question and to allow them to illuminate the answer.